attitude. And now that the Police Service Commission is coming up with this, it clearly shows that there are a lot of routes within the police institution that are yet to be cleared. And if you go by this, it also shows clearly that records are not properly kept within the institution. It shows clearly also that the institution has become weak in terms of record keeping, and this is a clear demonstration of the fact that the government taxpayers' money are going down the drain, all in an effort to first pay salaries and service the police institution. And the Police Service Commission coming up with this now is also a clear indication that so many officers have attained the age of retirement and are still hanging on there in the service, not willing to go.
But since you identify the issue of lack of record keeping, but as a strategic institution in the Nigerian society, the police and other security agencies, they are being commended for having up-to-date records of their officers and men. So how comes that they are calling them to retire? Can they save them themselves?
Yes, if they are calling them to retire, it is a clear indication that some of them are still hanging there. And if they are hanging there, it means that all of their entitlements are coming to them. Salaries, allowances, and all of that.
You talked about falsification of age by maybe some officers. It's not even peculiar to that particular institution. I would say it is all round.
Yeah, it's an all-rounder. Even among the civil society, the civilian civil servant, we have so much of such cases, even in our own dear state, Niger State here. But the Police Service Commission now is coming out to clearly show that there is such kind of things existing within the police institution. And like I said at the beginning, many of them have this fear of retirement, the fear of the unknown future, the uncertainty that comes with retirement. Many of them also are financially unprepared for the retirement age, and hence they can go into all sorts of dubious moves to ensure that they hang on there within the system and continue to earn salary illegally. Within the system, here you have some police officers who have retired since last year and are yet to get their benefits. No gratuity, and are yet to start benefiting from their pension. So they've not been captured on both. They've not received their gratuities, neither have they been captured within the pension system. So it clearly shows the weakness within the system. It shows clearly that the system itself is not following the track records of its officers and men. It shows clearly that the system has failed woefully. And because of this route, many of the police officers have gone ahead to falsify their documents, either in terms of age or in terms of sometimes even years of recruitment, even though that may be very impossible to alter the year of recruitment, because they all have their recruitment numbers, and those numbers indicate years, and it is those numbers that readily identify them. So it's not easy to actually alter that number, but it is much more easier to alter one's age. But many of them, after attaining the age of 35 years in service, they still want to hang on there, like I said, because of the fear of the unknown future and their unpreparedness for life after retirement. And that is why even within the civil service, you realize that so many civilians are also into it. And many of them will go on to falsify their ages by reducing the ages. And sometimes many of them, if they can have their way, can also collude with some unscrupulous element within the cabinet to falsify even their appointment years. So, and that is why you see quite a number of people have remained for a longer than necessary time within the service. But one thing is clear. If one has attained the age of retirement, I think it is morally right for him to leave.
Okay, the age of retirement, 60 years of age and 35 years
Of service, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so it is morally right for someone to simply leave. Leave when the ovation is loudest. Leave when you can still do one or two things with your life and see how you can pick things from the scratch and try to make a living. And you know, this fear of the unknown future have sent a lot of people to early graves. So many people have simply fallen sick shortly after retirement. We've seen quite a number of people who have gone paralyzed, who have had high blood pressure, simply because they have retired and have not prepared for anything. Quite a number of these kind of people are people who have squandered even their last salary. So they've squandered all of their earnings to their last salaries. And when they retire, there is nothing left again. So many of them again have retired with no even a house of their own. Some of them have retired with no meaningful investment. Some of them have retired with no proper upbringing of their kids, who are supposed to be their lifeline soon after they retired. And many of them have equally retired with no family that they can call their own.
Okay.
So all of these have contributed to this fear of the unknown future.
Okay, fear of the unknown future. We know that in some government establishments and others, there is a plan preparing the retirees for life after retirement, maybe 3 months or thereabouts, where they were sensitized on life after retirement and what have you. Apart from this sensitization done to them in order for them to adjust life after retirement, we'll also talk about the benefits. They're supposed to be part of a pension scheme that's supposed to take care of their needs after retirement. Where are we getting it wrong in these aspects?
3 months is not enough. The planning for retirement used to start in the last 10 years of one's years of service.
10 years?
Yes, in the last 10 years. Once you work for 20 years, those years are years that you are supposed to build yourself as an individual. Probably should be able to own a house, have a family, be able to train your children, and then gradually you begin to plan for life after years of service, life after retirement. Those are the last 10 years are the years that you are supposed to begin with small investment. You start with smaller investment, rearing of animals, going to farms, doing 1 or 2 small scale businesses and all of that to complement what you are earning as salaries, because in the last 10 years your kids must have grown up, and the demand for their upkeep may also have tripled, because at that time they may have already started attending tertiary institutions. Some of them may have attained the age of marriage, and some of them may have attained some other ages where they demand from you financially. So you can see that if you don't start making proper investment in the last 10 years of one's years of service, then one is likely to go into such kind of uncertainty about the unknown future after retirement. But you know, this warning that is coming from the Police Service Commission is also coming in the wake of the elongated tenure of the Inspector General of Police, Egbetokun, who is said to have attained the age of 60 and is still left there serving. And you know, so many police officers, especially those who are his classmates, refuse to go on retirement, thinking that if he has not gone on retirement, why should they go on retirement? So the whole controversy is now on, and the Police Service Commission, as well as the Attorney General of the Federation, are the ones to see how they can actually come up to explain to the public why the Inspector General of Police is still serving when he has already attained the age of retirement. And maybe it is from him that other police officers who have attained the age of retirement are taking a cue and are simply lurking from behind as part of their reason not to go on retirement. Like I said, the fear of the unknown future is still a recurring decimal in the mind of every civil servant, and it will continue to remain because of the salary package. The take-home pay cannot take you even to the gate of your working place. So you can see that so many people will continue to have this fear, because what you are being paid as a take-home pay, if it cannot take you out of the gate of your working place, I'm afraid, what else can you keep? And that is why you can see that even planning for the retirement age is almost impossible by every civil servant.
Okay, 090388088883 is the number to call in. Of course, make your comments, or you can post your comments on our Facebook page, Prestige FM Mina. And we're streaming live on radio app, prestigefmradio.org.ng, and on our Facebook page, also on Prestigefm91.7mx. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ambassador Yebu the Challenger, calling you from Tudun Fulani.
All right, sir. Make your comments. Yes, sir.
You see, this issue is a very sympathetic issue, and it's also worrisome. And we have a lot of them in government, and it's not okay for people who are serving. At least they have laws, and their rules and regulations and laws said if you are 60, you retire. But some of them are still in office. So, Hajia Memuna, the problem of this country is just two things. Change begins from me, you, and our leaders. Most especially me and you. If we can change our mindset, Nigeria is going to be a great country tomorrow. Lastly, Hajia Memuna, the second problem of Nigeria is we should do away with sentiment of crime, religion, nepotism, and corruption. That is our problem. So if you and I can change our mindset and do the needful, you understand, we'll get things right. And Hajia Memuna, if people are looking up to you as a role model, you understand, you respect that decorum they are giving you. You understand, by the time you don't do it, you are downgrading your personalities in people's presence.
Thank you very much.
Please, our leaders should step up and do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabu the Challenger. 090388088883 is the number to call in. Of course, make your comments, so you can post your comments on our Facebook page, Prestige FM Mina. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Auntie Memuna.
Good morning, sir. Who do you have on the line?
Good morning, Professor Dantala.
Good morning.
I see the Nepalese and I have the ID photo from my family.
All right, please.
First of all, my prayer first has to come to our brother there. Long life and prosperity.
Thank you.
I believe this program is a program of one of the best programs in this Niger state. Not need to be giving awards. So I see the Nepalese and I have the ID photo. Why am I saying that? The issue of Nigeria after some years is that it should not be forced the way to take appointment. That's the day or day, you get count from there. And nevertheless, when you come, all these issues come of the corruption happening in this country, when the police might be on the road, if the fire is not to wait to even take to in child or in family entirely, then what are you talking about? As the man is saying that after he's so years, everybody should go. It could be him. He could use himself to do example to others. Say, no, Jody, my time has gone, so I will go for retirement. That's why we know that Nigeria and the police have been reborn. Why am I saying that? You shouldn't use carry Nigeria police force to democracy. Using our police for democracy. I know you will not say that because they have your own selfish interest. There's many IGs. When you enter office, look other people portrait in the office. Some of them go before you, and you go whether you like it or not. Whatever I do before you go, that's what you use to remember you. Thank you. I rest my thoughts. Thank you very much.
You know, part of the controversy behind this is the fact that the Police Service Commission had come to alter an earlier decision or rule that was existing. In the past, the date of enlistment is what is being considered for retirement. But the Police Service Commission in 2017, during a plenary session, has sat down to actually approve the date of retirement to be pegged on the date of appointment and not the date of enlistment. And this has been properly conveyed to the Inspector General of Police then, and I'm sure it is also applicable to the current Inspector General of Police. So probably the current Inspector General of Police may be hanging on, maybe on his date of appointment and not date of enlistment. So you can see these are two different deadlines, but the period separating the two dates may not be too far-fetched, because date of enlistment is indicating the day that one have finished his training and is enlisted into the police force, and then the date of appointment is the day that one receives his appointment letter, the day his appointment letter was signed.
Okay.
So probably it could just be differences of a month or a few months. So if Egbetokun is still hanging on there, it could be he's abiding by the decision of the Police Service Commission of 2017 that have ordered that date of appointment should be considered and not date of enlistment.
Okay, but still the government can decide to extend his years of service.
Yes, because he's a service chief. It didn't start with him alone.
Okay.
It started with several other officers in the past. Even within the military, we've had that. Martin Luther Agoy served the Nigerian army for 40 years, if you recall. During Obasanjo's time, he was, I think, chief of army staff, and then he went to East Timor to go and serve at the United Nations there. It was in East Timor that he attained the age of 35, and did not retire until when he came back from that assignment in East Timor. Then he proceeded on retirement. By that time, he has already attained the age of 40 in the army. General Boratai is also a beneficiary of this alignment, and so many other police officers have enjoyed this magnanimity coming from sitting presidents to simply look the other way, even though they have attained the age of retirement. So if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had decided that he still wants to return Egbetokun to serve, he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria, and the decision is his. But again, we also have issues with public morality, because no one is an island in himself, and no one is a reservoir of intelligence and intellects. If Egbetokun lives today, that does not mean that within the police service there is nobody that is as competent as Egbetokun. But this also borders around issues of confidentiality, confidence, as well as trust on the part of Mr. President. Confidentiality, looking at the fact that there are certain already intelligence that Egbetokun is in the know and can help to unravel some of the insecurities that are bedeviling the country. And then confidence has to do with his capacity and performance as Inspector General of Police. And then the trust also comes with the fact that he has been given several assignments and have not failed, and have therefore been able to earn the trust, the confidence, as well as the some other feelings of Mr. President. So I'm sure it shouldn't be allowed to degenerate into something that has become a norm, extending the service of public office holders. I think once they attain the age of retirement, they should be allowed to go. And this is why there is the need for grooming. If Egbetokun cannot point anyone to succeed him, it means that he has not been able to groom anybody. He has not been able to bring his subordinates closer to him, to learn from him what he has been doing in such a way that if he's not there, somebody can readily take over.
All right.
When when Lagbaja left and died suddenly, the military filled the vacuum there and then. This is because there are other competent lieutenants.
Before his death,
before even his death, somebody was already
appointed
there.
as in active
And
capacity
this is one thing
for the
I have
first time in
loved.
the
This
history.
is one thing I have loved with the military. The military is such kind of an institution that is capable of reinventing itself. It can reinvent within the twinkle of an eye. If this officer is not there, somebody texts in immediately. And if the next person is not there, another person texts in immediately. And that is why you see such kind of lacuna has not been experienced in the military. So I am sure the President, the Police Service Commission, the Attorney General of the Federation, as well as the Inspector General of Police himself, should look into the matter. You cannot point a finger at someone when you yourself is not clean. So if the Inspector General of Police is urging officers who have attained the age of retirement to retire, he should retire too, because he has also attained the age of retirement.
All right. Okay, let's take some comments on our Facebook page. This one coming from Lado Umbar. He is saying, happy new month, preparing for Ramadan, but government should do something about our food. Okay, that's not our focus. Thank you very much, Lado Umar. Jafar Ibrahim Bendiga is saying, regarding the IGP's order for police officers to retire at 60 years, it is interesting to note that this directive comes after at a time when the current Inspector General of Police, Kade Oguntokun, is nearing retirement himself, as he said to turn 60 on September 4th. There are been speculation about whether he will retire or receive an extension. The Police Act amendment, which allows the president to extend the tenure of an IGP beyond 85 years of service or 60 years of age, has added to the uncertainty. While some senior officers are lobbying for the position, others are concerned that extending Egutokun's tenure might impede their career progression. Doctor, my question is, should police officers be allowed to serve beyond 60 years, or is it time for fresh faces and new perspectives? He's asking, should police officers be allowed to serve beyond 60 years, or is it time for fresh faces and new perspectives? But before you answer that, Aisha, okay, just answer the question.
Yes, where it is necessary, they can serve beyond 60 years, especially if they are on a special assignment. You can imagine, for example, a police officer who is on a United Nations peacekeeping operation, or who is on the war front, or who is on the conflict area and serving the nation already. You don't expect him to be pulled out of that assignment simply because he has attained at the age of retirement.
Okay.
He will be allowed to finish that assignment, then come back and retire honorably, just like any other police
irrespective
officer.
of if the more than 4 years or thereabout he's
yes, so long as he remains within the conflict area and is working, serving the nation meritoriously, he should be allowed to finish that service and then come back and retire. But in this situation, I'm making reference to those who are simply sitting within the cozy comfort of their offices and doing nothing, and they have attained the age of retirement and still do not want to go. You know, here in this country, we have seen a police officer who have attained the age of retirement, and then the following Monday, like today, he refused to wear his uniform, but he still went to the office. Went and then get another chair closer to the official chair he was sitting on, and sat on that chair and wanted to receive briefings. You know, it was a private police officer that disgraced him on that day. It was awash everywhere on the social media. The private police officer told him, Oga, you are no longer part of us, please leave. You know, these are some of the avoidable, shameful situations that everybody is avoiding. And you cannot remain forever in a place.
Definitely.
And that is why there is a need for regeneration. If others before you refuse to retire, you don't have had the opening to go in. But it is because those before you retired, that is why you went in. So if you retire, younger ones will equally come in. And that is how the service continue to regenerate itself.
Aisha Mamanjos, she's wishing us all the best. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Antala. Good morning this morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir. My name is Babali.
All right, Babali, make your comment.
Dr. Antala, so it's not funny, it's not something surprising in this country while things are happening and coming and unbecoming. A lot of things happening in this nation. Happens to be if the government is interested in you, or any key official of the government is interested in you, you are beyond the law. The law is not working on you. You have somebody to back you up. I'm telling you what is happening. You look at the police officer, senior police officer, age of retirement have reached, instead of orders to copy from him. And look at what is happening now. So do you think somebody that is low ranking, that doesn't want to leave the office, will you blame him for this? You can't blame him on this. So the system is not just working. This is what is just wrong with this country. The system, whatever government have interest on, so that is what is happening in this country. If they don't have interest in anything, that is all. You are left for you, left for the citizens, left for the nation to go whatever. This is just what is happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Babali. Comrade Ganas Brasco, he's saying good morning. I always wonder why Nigerians are sincerely doing whatever we intend to do. This is very bad news, but all we can say best of luck. Okay, thank you very much, Gana Jibril. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Hajjam. Good morning, Dr. Dantala.
Good morning, sir.
This is Mr. Bute from General M. I wish you State.
All right, sir. Make your comment.
In brief.
Yes, sir.
I see if we are coming in fact, I don't know the reason why somebody will say he will do something, and when he goes into the office, he will go on the contrary. President Bola Tinubu promised Nigerians that he will help fix the problem of Nigeria. He said they should put in that so he will fix the problems of Nigeria. That means he will correct the wrongs of the past to the right. So the fact that former President Buhari allowed Brute to stay long, to extended the tenure of Brute in the military, I see no reason why he too, instead of fixing Nigeria in the right way, should extend the tenure of the present IGP, who is analyzing that debate now in the system. Look, anybody at 60 should leave. At 60, the United Nations will believe that this person is a little bit weak. He's not as active as when he was around 25, 18, 20, after 50 years. That is why they say if you are 60, already you are a senior citizen, you should relax. Although you are retired but not tired, your experience, your knowledge, you can be impacting it on the junior ones, but not for you to be in the system. So what I want the government to do is to make retirement very, very attractive that political office holders. Just life after retirement should be attractive. And that is the responsibility of the government. And let me jump here quickly by concluding, as I already said in this platform, that for me, the office of that Police Service Commission should be scrapped. IGP, that office of the IGP should be responsible for recruitment, training, promotion, posting, and discipline of the military. Of the police. Let's turn that Police Service Commission to Police Pension Board, whereby they will make police pension very, very fast and attractive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, Doctor.
You know, that controversy has already been laid to rest. You know, it has been lingering within the corridors of the judiciary for years when the Police Service Commission approached the court to seek for clarification on who is responsible for recruiting police officers and men. And you know, that has already been laid to rest. The Police Service Commission is responsible for commissioned officers, while the Office of the Inspector General of Police is responsible for recruiting police men and women. You know, even though that is not part of the issue, but the Service Commission is out there to regulate the activities of the Nigerian police force entirely. And then secondly, the Police Pension Commission or board has not also lived up to its billings, because I believe that many of the police officers are afraid of retiring because of this lopsided nature of their welfare not being taken care of. Unfortunately, the police pension has not been able to make retirement attractive to the police officers. And this is because many of them have retired for upward of 1 year, 1.5 years, and are still not being captured either as pensioners or even their gratuity have remained unpaid.
The Nigerian situation with pensioners.
And that is why you see many Nigerians will die shortly after retirement. This is because of the precarious situation that they find themselves. And it is not only the police, but even in the civil service itself. The civil service have not been, the retirement have not been made attractive to civil servants. And that is why many civil servants go ahead to falsify their ages, to tamper with their records, all with a view to remain longer than necessary within the service. Even in Niger State here, we have a lot of civil servants who have tampered with their ages, and some of them have even gone ahead to tamper with even their years of appointment. But again, I also give kudos to the Niger State government. You know, the biometric exercise, which has been going on and on severally for years, will definitely expose many of them who decide to do this. Even in the recent biometric conducted by the consultants brought in by the Niger State government, will have discovered quite a number of falsification done by many officers. You see an officer, for example, whose age is around 58, will just go ahead and reduce his number of years. I have seen quite a number of officers who have reduced their number of years to up to 8 to 10 years, simply because they want to remain in the service. And this is giving room for so many things that is adding to the burden on the government. When we say the government has a lot of burden on its shoulders, these are some of the issues. Because those who are there refuse to go. And the young ones who are out of school are also yearning to join the civil service. But the space is not there. Everything has chopped up. Those at the top have refused to leave. And that is why sometimes even promotions are very hard to come by. Because those who are supposed to shift have not made that move. And people are already qualified for promotion.
Definitely.
They cannot have their promotions because that level is already chopped up. At the exit there, those who are supposed to leave have refused to leave. And you see salary bills keep piling. And that is why most of the times government will say people are retiring, people are dying, but the salary figures have continued to soar up.
Issues of ghost workers here and there.
Issues of ghost workers here and there. And a lot of investigations have been made around issues of ghost workers, and even institutions that have a lot of ghost workers, even within Niger State here. We know them, we know those institutions, we know those ministries, we know those parastatals and institutions that have a lot of ghost workers. But again, these are issues for another day.
Definitely. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Dontola.
Morning, how are you?
Fine, sir. This is MD Awal from Kwakungu.
Okay,
Hi, MD.
Dr. Dontola, I most commend you always for a wonderful analysis and bringing a vital topic for discussion. Likewise, Madam Memuna.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Dontola, the law of the land, it seems as if there are prominent people in this country that the law doesn't catch up with them. I want to start example. It's not peculiar to federal government alone. It happens even in Niger State here, Dr. Dontola. If you go to most of some MDMs, hello.
I said, don't mention it. Just go ahead.
Yeah, it happens. It's peculiar to even Niger State because there are some MDS certain as like a civil servant that they're up to 60 years or 35 years in service. They're still in the service. And Dr. Dontola, until we begin to be correcting all these lapses that we're having in the country and likewise in the state, that is when the country will move forward. There are a lot of abnormalities that is going on in this country, and that is why the country remain where the country, we're supposed to be advanced ahead of where we are now, Dr. Dontola. And those are lapses that we're having that we still remain where we are, honestly, in this country. Until we begin to be correcting all these abnormalities, that is when the country will move forward.
Right.
You can see the IGP is supposed to go, and he's still remaining in the service, and that is why even young ones will not want to go.
Till
because
September, that's when you will reach the mandatory age.
Yeah, the IG is having the privilege of Mr. President, and that is why he's still remaining in the office. If not, the IG is supposed to go. But he's having the privilege of Mr. President, and that is why he's still remaining in the office. So until you understand, the leaders begin to show some certain example, that is when the followers, you understand, or the young ones will begin to copy from the leaders. So those are lapses that we're having in the country, and that is why we will remain where we are. It's only God who will see what's true in this country. If not, there are a lot of lapses, honestly, in this country. May Allah continue to make things easy for us. That's my take.
All right, thank you, Mdiawal, for that comment. 0903880888 is the number to call in. Of course, make your comments, or you can post your comment on our Facebook page, Prestige FM Mina. Ibrahim Dang Agaji Bashir, he is saying good morning, watching you live from Salihi Filling Station, Western Bypass. Thank you, Ibrahim Dang Agaji Bashir. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I am Muhammad calling from.
All right, Muhammad, make your comments.
Last week that we are in this country, I always.
Can you speak up a bit, please?
Which way to go in this country? The big man always dreams to be in his office, where the younger one wants to be in a big man office, and the big man is not ready to go. What Dr. Dantola talked about this case, but I know many who have also upgraded their age in order to be in the office. Many in this country, most especially in our local government. And when they retire, you will see them like they have never ever worked.
Please try a call back. 0903880888 is the number to call in. Of course, make your comments, or you can post your comments on our Facebook page, Prestigefm91.7mx. Hello, good morning. Okay. We are taking a look at the directives given by the Police Service Commission for officers and men who have reached the age of 60 or 35 years service to retire from the police. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Madam Yamuna. Sorry, I'm back.
Briefly.
Yeah. Dr. Nantala, you can see, you know why most of civil servants attain the age of 60 and likewise 35 years, and most of them don't want to go, Dr. Nantala. There are a lot of some corruption. Most of them, I'm not saying the entire agency. Some people are having issues. We understand within the MDA, either in the ministry, they don't want anybody to come and prove checkmating their lapses. You understand, in terms of the wrongdoing they have done when they are still in the service, and that is why most of them don't want to leave. And you can see even most of them that even attain the age of retirement, Dr. Dantala, most of them want to stay, or they will just find their way, you understand, so that the government will appoint them in terms as like a contract. And most some people who have retired, you understand, they still come back to the service, you understand, being appointed as a contract, and which is very, very unfortunate. When we're having young ones, they are waiting for an appointment. So it's that time the government should take its time, you understand, the authorities concerned should checkmate all these lapses that we're having within the federal government, the state, or most of the agencies, you understand, so that our country will move forward. They are not continue to see us through. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much. Let's see if we can take one last call, then we'll come back and, of course, wrap up the program. Hello, good morning.
Yes, it's Mr. Butler. Let me finalize it.
All right. Briefly, sir.
Finally, our government should avoid, or our leaders should avoid what we call favoritism, nepotism, or whatsoever. Because no matter how good the person is, another one can still do the best. We have a lot of potentialities, and Allah wants to exhibit his talent or his knowledge to the fullest. I'm telling you, the best you can do for police as of now, anybody who reached 35 years in service should go, no matter how good he is. Anybody who reached the mandatory 60 years should please go and rest. This should be to bring sanity in the system. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, Dr. Muhammad Ansari, let's wrap up the program. 60 years and, of course, 35 years in service. Please, warming up to disengage this particular set of senior police officers from the force.
Yes, and it's a normal exercise for...
But they are crying that they don't have enough officers.
They don't have enough officers, but that doesn't mean that within the pool of youth in Nigeria, they don't have youths who are willing to join the force. The government is too complacent, and the government is clueless about how to regenerate officers and men in the Nigerian police, and that is why we are having this lacuna. There are millions of youths out there that if you open a portal today, I'm telling you, within the next 15 years, within the next 15 minutes, if you open your portal and say you want 5 million youths who want to join the police, in 15 minutes, you will have that number. Just to tell you